Power to Lead is a great way to welcome you all to the very first HENKAKU Live webinar series from Ricoh. It's wonderful to have you all here with us. Okay, so let's get straight into what we're going to be covering today. After this intro, we'll meet Steve, who will show us what's new with the C9500 and how easy it is to implement these technologies. After the commercial video break, we'll then meet Andy, who'll run through what applications are already out there and what could be driven by these new technology enhancements, while also taking you through a really easy to use TCO tool to prove the value of the investment. We'll then open up for questions and answers. So please do get your questions ready in the questions function on the screen as we go through. Now, some of you may be wondering what HENKAKU means. So HENKAKU is a Japanese concept, which is a shift that it fundamentally changes an existing structure, a way of thinking, or even a way of life. It's an ethos that runs through Ricoh globally because we believe the best innovations and transformations happen when people come together. And that's why HENKAKU is built around 4 principles or petals here: collaboration, co-integration, co-development, and co-enhancement. So if we look at it in very simple terms, HENKAKU puts the co in Ricoh. And that's why we're all here today, to imagine change together by unleashing your investment. And building on the why, we'll show you how you can differentiate yourselves to redefine what's next by capturing new revenue. And we'll show you 2 platform enhancements to build on the C9500 investment you've either already made or you want to make. So you can join the other print service providers who are already building a successful business from these innovations. Okay, so let's go. Martine, let's go and find Steve, and then we can see what's possible when we go through the next segment. So we're here at the Customer Experience Centre. This has been here for about 14 years now. It's application development. It's also a briefing centre, which of course you're very welcome to join us here. It's also toner, bottling and remanufacture. And it's also research and development, which links me in very nicely to welcome Steve. Good to see you. So Steve is the senior engineer for the CEC. And Steve has been fundamental in helping to bring all of these innovations to life. Over to you, Steve.
Okay, so one of the key challenges with digital printing is creating an offset-like finish on a digital press. This is exactly where the matte fuser comes in. The matte fuser solves this challenge utilising a specialised micro-textured fusing belt, which, as the toner melts onto the paper, the texture on the belt is embossed onto the surface of the toner, which then, with the surface being embossed, this then diffuses the reflected light from the actual print, enabling you to achieve a matte finish. So with the matte fuser, we can achieve a consistent and matte finish across both coated and uncoated stocks. Here's a couple of examples that we've pre-prepared.
Right, let me help you out, Steve. Okay, it is a little bit tricky to see this on the camera, so that's why it's always good if you come to the briefing centre live. But I think you can see here on the standard fuser, the light reflects, whereas on the matte fuser, it absorbs the light. So it can give you that kind of different feel that is available with the 2 fusers.
And in terms of the fuser and identifying or differentiating between the 2 different types of fuser, if I just open up the machine here, we can take a closer look. You can identify the matte fuser by its appearance. Here we have a lightly coloured grey belt. Yeah, so in terms of...
Yeah, I mean, how quick is this to change over? Because if you're using both the standard and the matte fuser? How quick is it to change over in production?
It's actually quite quick, Evelyn. It's a couple of minutes to physically change, swap out the two units, and then maybe another 5 minutes for it to warm up. So in total, easily less than 10 minutes.
Oh, perfect. Wonderful. Thank you. Okay, so we've had a quick deep dive into the matte fuser. Now Steve's going to take us through Ricoh MediaMax.
Oh, well, Ricoh MediaMax is an enhancement on the existing capabilities of the 9500. From a paper specification point of view, we go from currently the maximum paper weight is 470 GSM, 600 microns. With MediaMax, we can achieve up to 600 GSM, 800 microns. So it's quite an enhancement on the capabilities of the press. MediaMax comprises of a number of key physical changes to the press. First of which is the first transport assembly. If I open up the machine here, you can maybe take a closer look. First transport assembly with stiff, thicker media. We've modified this assembly to encompass a enhanced paper detection sensor, which can detect at a longer range. Stiffer paper doesn't fall down onto the transport belts. So that'll be the one change. The other change is an enhanced guide that we've got around the second transfer, which prevents stiffer media from disturbing the image on the image transfer belt. And then, as with thicker and heavier media, we've modified the air nozzles, the air jets on the paper trays in order to inject air directly into the paper stack to more easily float the paper for enhanced paper feeding.
Wonderful. Thanks, Steve. So if somebody's already got a 9500, how quickly can they get Ricoh MediaMax installed?
What we say, it approximately takes about a day for the physical install. So the physical changes themselves don't take that long. It's more about going through and ensuring that the engine itself, the machine level, the LCT setup, paper profiles are all fully set up on the engine. Basically, check the quality, make sure that the customer, the end user, are able to basically hit the ground running.
Yep. So there's training involved as well?
Yeah, there's extra training involved as well, where we go through all the various aspects of printing on and media handling with thicker papers.
Wonderful. So it's pretty easy and pretty quick to get up and running.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you, Steve, so much. And like I said, it's a privilege to have Steve with us because Steve was instrumental in making the engineering for the Ricoh MediaMax working. So thank you very much, Steve. What we're going to do now is we're going to jump into a commercial break, and this will really show you the voice of the customer, and it's really to show you the commercial opportunities that are available. And then straight after that, we're going to go over to the applications bar and hear a little bit more about Andy and what he's been doing, working with our partners and also our customers to really bring this to life. So we'll see you in the applications bar in a moment.
Responding to a major shift in demand from brands and retailers, the company has invested in a Ricoh Pro C9500 digital sheet-fed press, enhanced with the Ricoh MediaMax customization, enabling it to shift volumes from offset to digital and produce sustainable paperboard cards responsively and at scale. Ricoh MediaMax is a unique offering, and Cards Unlimited has co-innovated with Ricoh to take full advantage of the opportunity it has brought.
The thickness of the material was a key decision for us. The thickness of the cards must conform our specifications. And the quality of the printing, because we normally print in offset, so the quality of digital has to be the same as or better than the quality in offset. The return on our investment is good and quick. and we are very pleased with that. And we are not depending on third parties, so we can do it by ourselves. At the end of the day, the most important is the quality of the cards, because our customers are demanding it, and the quality is excellent with the Ricoh press. So we are very happy with that.
Ricoh MediaMax is a unique offer. There's nothing like it.
We've been working with them for 12 months now. Andy Campbell and his team with Simon and Jeff. These guys just add so much value to our business, and we've put products on the floor now where we can migrate away from plastic cards, which as we all know aren't environmentally friendly, into a product that is paper-based, fully personalised, developed on printed on a C9500 on a 700 micron board and punch print, and it's as good as, if not better than, a plastic product that we've produced over many years. So this is the area that these guys really do focus on and add value into our business.
Talking about, and we can deliver a better product if we're educating them. The 9500, didn't realise we could do an 800 mic stock on that, so that's something I'd like to take back with me.
Ricoh's technology is unique, so is their open collaborative mindset, which is key to Green Gift Card and Ricoh co-innovating together to disrupt a multi-trillion-dollar market with a sustainable solution that is helping print service providers grow their businesses.
Okay, so we've just seen all of the technology which Steve has taken us through. We're now going to turn our mind to the applications which are already out there in the marketplace and also spark some imagination for what you could create. So I'd like to introduce you to Andy Campbell. Andy, tell us what's possible.
Well, in the spirit of HENKAKU, which Evelyn mentioned earlier on, what we would like to do at Ricoh Europe and Ricoh Worldwide is actually co-develop new applications and new ideas, and we co-innovate with partners to bring new opportunities to our customers. And MediaMax, which we've been talking about earlier, and the Matte Fuser are two examples of that. So really, where it started from 4 years ago now was we were looking at the market and what new ideas there were and new trends within the market. And one of the things that we came across was the fact that people wanted to run on thicker paperboard to open up new opportunities. And one of the real opportunities that we identified was actually the gift card sector, where brands want to move away from single-use plastic to PVC cards, to paperboard cards to meet their ESG goals. That meant that we had to run a much, much thicker paperboard that was out of specification on our products. So we basically researched the market, understood the size of opportunity, identified the right partners that we wanted to work with, and then we started working in conjunction with the paper mills to develop the capability of running the paperboard. This meant testing tens of thousands of sheets, looking at reliability, productivity, image quality. That took us about a year before we were comfortable internally. We then took that to a customer as a proof of concept. And then also, rather than just run test targets, we actually introduced a partner, Green Gift Cards. And then basically Green Gift Cards was sending them commercial work very much, virtually from day one. So we've been running commercial work really since, nearly 4 years ago now. And so that then grew volume. And then basically we decided to then roll that out to another 2 or 3 customers that we identified as good partners to test it. And since then we've been growing that. And a lot of those customers have decided to invest in the C9500 so that they can carry on running their PVC plastic cards, but then also allow them to migrate onto the paperboard so they can do both. So then we were comfortable with that, so then we thought, what other opportunities are there? So we looked at then other opportunities. So sort of summarising that, there's no early adopter risk, there's a proven business case, we're opening new markets, and it's a completely unique offering from Ricoh. There isn't any other dry toner press on the market that can go up to 600 GSM 800 micron. And it's also, if you've invested in a Ricoh C9500 already, we're future-proofing your investment because we can retrofit this to your existing machine. So what we're looking at really is, as I mentioned, CR80 and M6 gift cards and loyalty cards. That's the majority of our customers today. Obviously that follows on for gift card packaging. But we also looked at the swing tags, short run swing tags for the garment market, but also countertop displays, as you can see here. This opens up a brand new opportunity in the point of sale sector, but also sitting alongside the loyalty card sector as well for the hospitality cards. And also business cards. That's, you know, everybody talks about business cards maybe is declining, but actually I was with a customer yesterday and actually they said the market's increasing for them. And they were very, very interested in the MediaMax to expand the capability and go into that premium business card sector. And also your imagination, you know, what other things can you think could be possible?
So I'm just looking here, Andy, and I can see that you've got a lot of percentages there of margin on that slide. So just tell us a little bit more about that.
Well, we basically, as part of the actual development, we looked at the market and we had to really understand the market. And there's no point in us developing stuff where customers can't really make good margin. And as we all know, even digital print is quite a commodity nowadays. And, you know, it varies from country to country, but the margins are, you know, 20 to 30%. And if we came to the market with something that was only going to make the same or less, then obviously it wouldn't be interesting. So we, as part of that, we looked at really the whole ecosystem and understood, using a TCO calculator, understood really what the margins for our customers were. And that meant also looking at all the energy costs, the paperboard costs, the productivity on the machine, the leasing costs. So it is a full TCO approach. So these margins are, you know, being very verified as being fairly accurate.
The real life, and we'll touch on that a little bit later, won't we?
So let's have a closer look at some of these applications. As I mentioned earlier on, we've got gift cards. This is actually on a 720 micron paperboard from Otboga. This is actually a board that's sort of specified by some of the big brands in the market. This particular one is a 720 micron. It's a bit more rigid, but this is also specified by some of the brands in the market. So what we're trying to do is qualify papers that are actually being specified by the brands, not papers we think people need. And as I mentioned earlier on, point of sale, so this is a retail point of sale. You can see it's got a stand on the back. That's now opens up another opportunity. Short run packaging. Business cards, as I mentioned, is a really good one. So you can now do premium business cards without having to glue anything together. So you can take cost out of your process. So, you know, a lot of the time you're having to do gluing or laminating boards together to get to that thickness, and we can do that on some of these boards auto duplex in one pass. I mentioned swing tags. This is another growing market as well, and we can do this very, very quickly, auto duplex. And part of this really is identifying the finishing as well. So we've identified the right die cutter as well that fits alongside our press. So it's a full end-to-end solution that we're talking about. So
that gives us a really great view of some of the applications which are already out there in the marketplace. And I've got to say, we actually used some of the Ricoh MediaMax for an event that we did last week. So this was for Ink Pulse. So we actually printed the overview of the agenda on Ricoh MediaMax. It actually became a very good fun because it was a really hot week. But this was really good for our clients because we could leave this for them and they could look at what the agenda was. We also produced some Enviri card applications as well, which is also new. And I must admit, I did see Graham earlier in the showroom, and I'm not quite sure if he can hear me, but Graham, would you mind coming over for a moment? I'm not quite sure how this is going to work. But Graham, this is kind of your invention, isn't it, to some extent? Let me just take this off, guys, because we didn't really plan this. So, Graham, tell us a little bit about this application, Enviri Card, and then why don't we touch on the HENKAKU partnership as well? So, yes, Enviri Card.
Yeah, thanks, Evan. Yes, so Enviri Card was born out of the ongoing relationship we developed with Ricoh 4 years ago when we were on a mission to remove plastic where it's not needed out of our systems, whether it's the events industry, gift cards we talked about already. So really the EnviroCard was born out of green gift cards development with Andy and the team here at Ricoh. Why produce a product that's going to last for centuries, that has an application that has to last for days? If you take the events industry, and the same with gift cards, they only have to last a few applications in terms of the way they're spent. So, but in terms of HENKAKU, how we got started, I came to Ricoh, I think as Andy mentioned, as I was listening earlier, 4 years ago, and I had to sell the proposition to say, guys, there's a market there, there's a latent market, built up demand for an alternative to offset litho for large runs. We wanted a solution for short run, quick turnaround, handle variable data, variable designs, open up flexibility creatively for brands to do different designs rather than sticking with the same thing. The normal model is to pursue high volumes at low price. That is outdated models as far as I'm concerned. So the passion was to get rid of plastic where it didn't make sense and to move away from high volume offset to short run, print what you need when you need. And the guys have done it. We worked together to develop the C9500 that handles everything that we need for our customers. So gift cards, packaging, point of sale, everything all under one roof, all a simple solution. And wherever Ricoh has sold a C9500, that PSP now becomes our supply chain, and we've got that UK, Europe and the US. So it allows my business to grow and allows us to produce where our customers are, which keeps the CO2 down, which is my passion, is to remove the environmental impact of what we do as an industry. And bearing in mind the gift card industry is over $1 trillion globally, it's a big market and there's so much opportunity. And green gift cards, as I say, is launching into the US. But back to the EnviroCard, that is designed specifically for the events industry. And I think we showcased this back at Drew, first sort of outing with it. And again, the 9500 has this ability to print this very unique substrate that is recyclable and will biodegrade and break down harmlessly in industrial landfill. So it's incredible what's been achieved, and it's opened up a market for me and my business.
That's fantastic. Thank you, Graham. And I think it's really good to see that this was the relationship which was born, like you say, not just only on the paper supply, but it was then with the Ricoh partnership, then it was with the finishing as well, and then also driving the volume from your side of the business as well. So just one more quick question before you go. So this is a new volume which has come from offset, and this is a new volume that you can actually drive to print service providers.
Absolutely. As I say, wherever there's a press, we'll be able to fill it with business because there's a demand there that we need to meet, and we're unique in our offering along with Ricoh. So it's a very powerful position to be in.
So where there's a C9500 with Ricoh MediaMax, because it clearly has to have that, then there's a possible revenue stream for them.
Absolutely. Yeah. Let me know as soon as you're ready to start working.
That's wonderful. Thank you, Graham. Appreciate it. Thanks for popping by. Okay, wonderful. So, Andy, we've been talking about margins a little bit earlier, but you actually have a great tool that you've developed, which really brings that home. Can you just share with everyone what you're showing?
Yeah, so we've developed a total cost of ownership tool for the C9500 and Ricoh MediaMax. So really, this looks at the capital investment. It looks at the cost of the MediaMax investment, the service costs, leasing rates, energy, click charge, shift patterns, paper costs. So it really is a full TCO. And what we've done through our partnership with Green Gift Cards, and Graham, as you just mentioned, we understand what the sale price is from customers, so what the market is willing to pay. So we can put that price actually in. So it's not just the cost of running the press, it's actually what you're selling at. So we've done all of that analysis, and so I can share with you now. This is actually a live tool that our salespeople can go through with you because each business is going to be slightly different, and your paper costs and leasing rates may be different. But it's an interactive tool, so you can go in and change the labour rate, you can go and change the click charge. It's in multi-currency as well. So once you've sorted that out, what you can actually then do is you can see what your margins are, but you can also then go into your ROI calculator, and you can see your payback period depending on application. So if you say, for instance, you were doing business cards, and that was predominantly why you purchased MediaMax, and you were doing 2,000 sheets a month based on these prices, you would have a payback in 3.9 months. But you could say, well, I'm doing more than that. I'm doing 6,000, and your payback would be 1.2 months. So basically, the calculator's there to go through with your local sales channel, We can do a personalised version for you, input your figures and actually output that as a PDF report. So, but yeah, please, if you're interested, contact your local sales channel and happy to go through it with you.
That's wonderful. Thank you, Andy. That is such a powerful tool, because at the end of the day, we've got to make sure that this provides you with a revenue stream, or it's the business case internally to in-source work, which is really important. So let's just touch very quickly on the key opportunities. So we've already seen that the C9500 is the best-selling press in EMEA. So you're already investing in a successful platform. It's proven high quality applications. You can see here from the table and also what we shared with Steve. And it's now got, as Andy mentioned, it's got the widest support for media. So that really is a unique. And then when you add this together with what Graham's been talking about, you can actually see that you've got a very unique proposition and also new revenue streams. So what's next? Easy adoption. So you can either integrate it whether you've currently got a C9500, or if you want to invest in a new platform. You've got the opportunity to open it out to new markets. Graham was talking about transition from offset applications into the digital world. There's new margins, so what you've been sharing from the TCO calculator, but also what you saw on the slide earlier. And there's a sustainability differentiation because we can print on this really thick board now. It means that some applications that were on PVC can now be produced on paperboard, which gives a far better overall sustainability proposition. And it's a platform for growth. Where are we going to go next?
I mean, I'll just sort of wrap it up and say, we've launched MediaMax and then it's an upgrade to the machine, but we haven't stopped. We're continuously looking at marginal gains and how we can improve the productivity and the reliability. So this is an ongoing, continuous development. And as we get feedback from our customers like yourselves about new ideas and new opportunities, we'll keep improving on that. So we're keeping investing in the time and the money to make it better and better.
Absolutely. And that again comes back to the spirit of HENKAKU. It's co-innovation, it's working together, it's sparking those ideas, and we're always willing to learn. So I think that's a great opportunity now to go to live Q&A. So can you use the MapFuser and MediaMax together?
They can be used together.
Okay.
Yeah, you get some really good results. So if you want to create applications and get that offset like feel on the heavy media or thicker media, yeah, I mean, MapFuser is a great addition.
Okay,
yeah,
wonderful.
Definitely.
And can you provide a list of media already certified by Ricoh to be used on the MediaMax?
Yeah, we've just had that question, but yeah, we go through it. I can run it off the top of my head. So there's Opvoga Prominent 800 micron, Opvoga True Coat C2S 720 micron, there's Invercoat Duo 530 GSM 660 micron, there's Indirect from Western Board and Paper, which I think is 720 micron.
Yeah.
Those are all coated boards. We're now looking at the Federgoni Arena uncoated. So we're now extending the range into the uncoated boards as well to open up that business card segment. And it's an ongoing evolution. So it's not a finished project. We keep moving and moving forward to open it up to more opportunities for our customers.
Wonderful, which kind of links in with another question is Ricoh MediaMax and MapFuser available everywhere?
Yep.
It's available everywhere. I think we just need to get the service organisations in place to make sure.
Yeah, it's being rolled out slowly. So our opcos, so in the UK, in Ireland, definitely yes. We're already in the Netherlands. I know that Ricoh Spain are actually starting to roll it out. Germany are actually going through the service training at the moment. So it's slow rolled out. But yeah, just speak to your local sales channel and they'll support your request.
Wonderful, because there's another question here. When will MediaMax be available to South African customers? So that will be part of the rollout process.
We just have to make sure that we've got the service teams trained, right, to make sure that they can support customers. Really, that's it.
Absolutely. So last one, how do I get hold of the TCO tool?
Again, you can speak to your local sales channel and they can support you with that.
Okay, wonderful. Right, I think we're just going to do a little bit of a wrap up now. So what we're going to do is we're going to send you an insight survey after this session. So we'd really love to know your views. It is the first one we've done. So we want your honest feedback, and we want to really understand what kind of topics you want to be covered next time. So we're going to try and do these every quarter. So we really want to understand what you want to see. There's also going to be some resources available in the tab on the webinar screen. What we're going to do as well, because I think some of you missed the video, we're going to upload that to YouTube, and we're going to make sure that you can view that, because it's really powerful, because it is actually the customer's voice from those people who are using it currently. And I think we can actually add that quote from FlexPress from the other day.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I was talking to Steve Wenlock, CEO of FlexPress on Monday, and they use MacFuser for absolutely everything. They're a mixed house. They've got HP Indigo, they've got Offset, and it's important for them that their clients basically don't see any difference between any from whatever they're printing technology. So they think it's a very, very important part of their offering. So they use MacFuser all the time.
Wonderful. Okay, so one thing that I'd like to draw on just as we close is Ricoh haven't developed these just because we're technically capable of doing it. We've developed it because our customers have demanded that. So whether that's the MacFuser, like I say, with FlexPress, or whether it's actually Graham and Green gift cards, so actually providing that new volume from Offset and actually moving from PVC to sustainable paperboard. So we want to make sure that you have access to all of this technology, all of this capability to really help you drive your investments and unleash your investments. So thank you, everyone. Great to have you with us. We'll see you next time.